Hi guys, this is Gaming with Austin. Today, I'm back for episode 130 of Pyramid City. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? Today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna furnish this apartment building. What the hell is going on? This would be a shower room. The bathing room. The reason why the Gods and Sausage Party end up killing the food characters is so they can survive. The main reason is so they can survive. Without the food, they die. They starve to death, literally. The real reason why we tend to be lazy, there's a biological reason for that. It has less to do with our desire to watch TV all the time. It has to do more with human nature. It actually has to do more with human nature. The truth is, it actually has to do more with human nature. Because in times of famine, we had to conserve what little energy we had. Nature never intended for animals to have a fast resting metabolism. Nature never intended for anyone to have a rapid-fire metabolism. At rest. There's a good reason for that. If your metabolism goes too fast, you wouldn't be able to grow properly. You need to be able to gain weight in order to grow properly. The process of going out to get food, of foraging, yeah, that requires energy. If you don't have the energy, you can't do that. If you're too weak. Your bones... Nature never intended for any animal to have a fast resting metabolism in a sedentary state. The only explanation for something like that is if you have a malfunctioning thyroid. Your body composition is actually mostly affected by what you're eating. Like, 95% of it is controlled by what you're eating. While 5% is controlled by exercise. Certain foods that causes you to store fat, you need to eat some of them in order for you to have healthy bones. Because without any body fat, bones become weak and brittle. And workouts are gonna suck. The gene that caused a lot of the contestants from The Biggest Loser to gain back all the weight they lost, it's actually in every mammal, not just humans. Because one of the properties, adaptive thermogenesis, can actually cause you to gain weight, too. the first instance of obesity has been going on for millions of years. Even in the time before humans, there was still obesity, as animals had to conserve what little energy they had to survive through the scarcity of food. The reason why we need to make it easy for people to gain, nature requires it to be easy to gain weight. This is so you could grow properly. If it's hard to gain weight, there's a chance your growth is going to get stunted. Your growth could get stunted. Having a fast metabolism in childhood could actually stunt your growth. And it's also bad for your bones, too. There might be a hormone that's released by your bones that could... there might be a metabolism regulating hormone that is actually produced by your bones. There might. There's also biological factors that affect your risk of obesity. There is also biological factors. Even if you've been given up for adoption, you still face the same risk of becoming obese. Even, like, if your biological parents are also obese. It doesn't matter if you've been given up for adoption or not. Because your birth weight could actually predict your likelihood of becoming facing obesity. In fact, there are cases of obesity in which the patient was born overweight from the start. And they couldn't grow into their weight because growth hormones caused them to gain a shit ton of weight, too. The anabolic property of steroids is what causes the weight gain. Anabolism drives weight gain. The truth about cats is, cats are not omnivores. You shouldn't even think about putting a cat on a vegan diet. Because that could literally kill the cat. There are people out there who thought it was a good idea, just to end up to put their cat on a vegan diet, just have their cat die as a result. This is sad. Humans and maybe dogs could get away with the vegan diet, but cats cannot. Even if the cat really wanted to. One of the signs that you actually need to gain back all the weight that you just lost, one of the factors that could drive that is your workouts suddenly begin to suck, even though they were good at first at a normal weight. That's a sign your body actually needs to store more fat. Your workouts begin to suck. The reason your body... and another sign that you actually need to gain back all the weight you lost is your bones start, like, become brittle as you try to maintain the weight loss in the long term. Like, body fat is not just there to cushion your organs and bones. Like, the reason why your bones are more likely to get fractured if you're lean, it's not just because there's a lack of cushioning for your bones, but another factor that could cause your bones to break more easily is the fact that when you get extremely lean, your bone, like sub 6% body fat lean, your bones actually begin to deteriorate. No matter how much vitamin D you consume. No matter how much vitamin D supplements you consume, because it's not just about how much vitamin D you can consume. It's also about how much vitamin D your body can absorb. Vitamin A is another vitamin that requires body fat for you to absorb into your body. Another condition that is related to having a very low fat percentage, you're more likely to get all moody. This is because your brain kind of requires fat. The lower your fat percentage, when your fat percentage gets too low, your workouts actually begin to suck. When you go down to like 4% body fat. No one should be maintaining that fat percentage at all. The reason why people often fail to make to execute the plan to lose weight for New Year's resolution, this is because the reduction of daylight hours means that your body wouldn't be able to absorb vitamin D as well, which means your body has to store more fat. Losing weight in the winter is actually a horrible idea. Because your body fat's not just there to insulate you. It helps cushion your organs too, and ensures that your bones are properly nourished. If you get too lean, your bones start to become brittle. Your bones actually start to become brittle. In fact, a lot of the people who end up maintaining a below 4% body fat actually end up developing something called osteoporosis. It's when your bones begin to deteriorate and become porous, hence the name osteoporosis. Only save single-digit fat percentage for competition in the world of bodybuilding. If you go, It's best to save it for the competitions when you go into bodybuilding. Like, your heart is a muscle. Muscles can only get so big naturally before they begin to fail. Yes, this also includes your heart. Your heart is a muscle. Your heart is a muscle. As you get due to senescence, your muscles get weaker. And yes, this also includes involuntary muscles too. Not just your skeletal muscles, but also your stomach and your heart. And yes, even your diaphragm. Which is why it's so easy to choke on food when you're very old. When you're like really old. Even your bones actually start deteriorating too. And age kind of plays a role in your risk of becoming overweight or obese. Age actually plays a pretty big role. And due to biological senescence, your metabolism actually starts to slow down. The leaner you get, greater your risk of malnutrition. Like for vitamin D3. Which is why babies have those chubby cheeks. Their body fat's not just there to keep them warm. Since they are growing very rapidly, they kind of need that fat so they could absorb vitamin D properly. Because pound for pound, children actually have a greater requirement for vitamin D. Which means their bodies actually have to absorb more of it per milligram of vitamin D3 that is consumed. Which means their bodies have to store more fat as a result. Which kind of explains why babies have their chubby cheeks. And if they're really lean, their bones wouldn't grow properly. Because of the lack of, they wouldn't be able to absorb enough vitamin D. Vitamin D plays a role in ensuring proper nutrition for your whole body. When your fat percentage is too low, like 3%, that is like 3% body fat is obviously anorexic. That is anorexic. That is like anorexic. 3% body fat, that is actually considered anorexic. That is like anorexic. That fat percentage is like anorexic. The desire to get lean and obesity prevention should start even before. It should actually start before the child's even born. Because prenatal exposure to air pollution can actually put the child at risk for obesity. Because their mother's maternal exposure during pregnancy could lead to childhood obesity. To pollution, like, it could screw with the DNA. Like, it could even... Parental exposure, like, in which parents are exposed even before conception, because there's a chance it could... Probably before conception, because it can screw with your genetics. It can screw with your genetics. It could screw with your DNA. Kind of like the effects of Agent Orange. Oftentimes in authoritarian regimes, the punishments for even the most common crimes tend to get pretty harsh. Like speeding. That can slap you with a massive fine. In Singapore and Malaysia, and yes, Saudi Arabia, if someone breaks the law, people are actually could end up could be sentenced to get a spanking. They are sentenced to get spanked. No, it's not like how your parents spank you. No, it's a lot more painful than that. The ones who administer the flogging, they do it with the intent to cause injury too. Not just pain, but also injury too. Which is why judicial corporal punishment should be abolished. Corporal punishment in all settings should be abolished. And anyways, this is Gaming with Dalston signing off. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video. And the scars left behind, like, it could also lead to post-traumatic stress disorder to the convict, too. As always, this is Gaming with Dalston signing off. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video, dislike if you disliked it, subscribe for more. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for more content like this. As always, this is Gaming with Dalston signing off, and until next time, bye.